Hello, this is Liz. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a card called a Shutter card, and this is something that I learned from a demonstrator friend named Kevin. Okay, so let me set this aside and show you what I'm doing with this. I'm using the paper pack that is called Delightfully Eclectic, and there is so much paper in this. If you haven't checked this out, it is in the annual catalog. But it's all different fun designs, just like it's called eclectic, so it's all various things, not really one particular theme. All right, so that's where the paper is coming from. I'll be using the words from this stamp set called Fun on Wheels. So I'm just using the words from this here, but this is a great stamp set. If you have teenagers or anybody, even adults who are just active and like to do anything with wheels, this is a good set for you. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. I will be using Basic Black as my base, and I've already scored it in half. I think I have a bone folder right here. Yep. So let's fold that in half. And we'll get a good crease there. Let me set that aside. Okay. Now I have a piece of white, Whisper White paper. This is white, Basic White. Sorry, it used to be called Whisper White. Now it's Basic White. Basic White paper that is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of Garden Green cardstock that is 2 1/4 inch square. So 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then I have 4 strips of black cardstock that are 1/4 inch by, these are actually much longer than what I need. I think these are like 7 or 8 inches. You really probably only need them to be about 4 inches long. So I'll show you in just a minute, but it's 1/4 inch thick, each of them. And then you just need maybe 1/4 inch by 4 inches. Like I said, these are just super long. I just grabbed these from my scrap bin and cut down 1/4 inch so I had them. Okay, and then I have a piece of white cardstock that is a 1/2 inch thick. And again, this piece, this is what my words are going to be stamped on. So this part is going to be totally different depending on what words you choose for your stamping, for your image and your card. But this is 1/4 inch thick for the words that I'll be using. And the words are, it's a good day to have a good day. And then I'll just cut it down. I don't need it this long, but I'll cut that down. So again, the dimensions for the words are going to be totally different depending on what you're doing. All right, so I grabbed these pieces of paper from that eclectic, what did I say it was called? Delightfully Eclectic. I grabbed patterns of paper from there. This is going to be for the front of the card, so I'll put that aside for now. What I need for this card is I need 4 different designs, okay? And I need designs that are going to not matter what direction they're going. So if you're trying to, if you have, let me show you an example of what won't work. So this paper here has these swans here. This isn't going to work because they all have to be this direction. So I need papers that don't matter what direction you're going. All right, so I need 4 different designs. So I'm actually going to use this one here, not that one, this one. And then I will use this one. I will use this one, and then I'll use the back side of this. Okay, the exact dimensions of this don't really matter, and I'll show you in a second. All right, so let's go ahead and put this card together. So again, I'm grabbing the white piece of 4 by 5 1/4. This is my 2 inch square. Let's just put adhesive on here. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to eyeball into the center. I want it to be in the center. If it's not exact center, it's not going to make a big difference. But I want to put that about in the center. Okay, so that's what I have at the moment. All right. And then I want to put these pieces on. It's a little bit easier to do with liquid glue just because it's so thin. If you haven't used the liquid glue before, you just need a light squeeze. If you squeeze it too much, you're going to end up with just glue everywhere, which you don't need. So I'm just putting on about that much. And then I'm going to take this and line it up with the edge of this square. Okay, so that's what I have at the moment. And you see how I said you didn't need it this long, so probably 1/4 inch by a 4 inch strip would be fine. Okay. Now I have a flag. All right, let's do this next one. Take this next piece here, and again, we're just going to put a thin strip of glue on there. And again, this is called the Shutter card. Designer Series papers are just beautiful and fun. There's all different designs. And this is a great way, again, I try to show you often ways to utilize both sides of your paper and get as many of those beautiful designs shown as possible. Okay, and during the month of June, depending on when you're watching this, June of 2023, the Designer Series papers will be 15% off most of the packs. With the exceptions of the in color papers are not on sale. The in color Designer Series paper packs. But all the rest of them will be 15% off during the month of June of 2023. Okay, so you see I'm just circling those around, going all the way around that square so that I end up with this. Okay, and then I'm going to flip this over and just snip off all this excess. Get rid of that one. That one and that one. Okay, so this is the Shutter card look that you have right there. All right, and you could just leave it like that, but we're not going to do that because we have to do a little bit extra, right? We want to show all these patterns of papers. So I'm going to take this one, and I think that one will fit right in there. Perfect. Yep. All right, so let's add some adhesive. All right, and I'm going to take this piece here, making sure that this is still in the camera for you. I believe we're good. Okay, I'm going to put that right up against. All right, the liquid glue is good because it will move around a little bit, so it's a little more forgiving for you when you put it down maybe where you don't want it to. You can slide it a little bit until it dries. Okay, so that's one. Let's take this one, and we'll do this next one over here. I'm going to take this pink piece. We're going to slide that right into the corner. Okay, and press that down. Okay, do you see it coming together at this point? Put that adhesive here. I'm going to take this one, and I think we can do this. I can put that down here. And then I need the back side of one of these for this fourth spot here. So I'm going to give that a second. We're going to flip this over. Now look, it looks like a big mess, right? We're going to flip this over. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and trim off. Okay, stay as close to the white as you can. Have any of you made this already? Or is this a new design for you? Thank you so much to those of you who have been sharing this, my YouTube page. I'm super thankful. If you have noticed, we just switched over to over 100 subscribers, so yay, excited for that. So if you see something you like, continue sharing. I would greatly appreciate that. Okay. So there we have. All right, so there's our three sides. And now I needed this striped piece in here for the last one. I think that fits. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this last one here. And we'll stick the pink stripes in there. And there we go. Just going to give that a second to dry. And then we'll flip that over and do the same thing. We're going to trim off this excess. All right. Get this out of here. Look at this. Isn't that great? Love that. All right. Go ahead. We're going to attach this now to the card base. And we want to center it so that you have about 1/4 inch border on all sides. And just hold that in place for a second, maybe 2. Okay, so that's what we have at this point. Now this pack of paper is from the exact same paper pack that I've been using. And sometimes we see this whole image and we need to think, what if we used a punch of some sort, what other designs could we get out of it? So I'm using a 1 3/4 inch punch, but you could grab any circle punch you have and just kind of play around with it. So when I first did, I was like, well, that maybe, and if I want the, oh yeah, look at that. Okay, you could do this one, but look at that, how it changes the design with your punch. So I'm going to punch this out here. Look at that. So now it no longer looks like that X, but you have a great design around your flowers. Okay, so I'm going to just take this one. We're going to stick that right here in the middle for the focal point. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a black ink pad to stamp my words, but we could use garden green too. Here, let's do that. We'll do that. I'll pull out garden green ink pad. And I'm going to stamp the "It's a good day to have a good day." Ooh, it looks a little juicy. Let's see how this comes out. Sometimes it's a little tricky to see white on white, so let me move this out of the way a little bit. And let's see how we do here. That's a little thick. Hang on one second. Hang on. So what you can do is just, here I'm going to take a piece of scratch paper. If it's really juicy, if you really have a juicy ink pad, take it and stamp on a piece of scratch paper just lightly to get off some excess ink. And let me try this again. Much better. Okay, so if your ink pad is super juicy and it just seems like it's coming out with too much ink, just stamp it, just ink it up, stamp it lightly on a piece of scratch paper, and then stamp again. And if you can see the difference here, this was the first one I did, and then there's the second one. All right, let's pull this back in here. And I'm just going to take my scissors and snip. And snip. We'll get rid of this. And just because, again, dimensionals are fun, let's add some dimensionals to the back. We'll get those out of here. And let's pull this back in, and we're going to put this right across the bottom. It's a good day to have a good day. So I hope whenever you're watching this that you do everything you can to make it a good day. So there you go, and that's the Shutter card. Hope you enjoyed. Give it a try, and if it's something you think someone else would enjoy, feel free to pass that along. Thanks so much. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.